That was nasty. But just before I get into the two forms of magic, I'm gonna tell you why I believe the current magic that they say exists are fake, right? Now, if you start looking at magic, right, you look at, I'm not sure the third eye is fake, but you're gonna understand what I'm getting to. Like in each category of magic, like Hindu, Satan worship, Jamaican stuff, whatever, any what voodoo and shit, you're gonna start to notice the similarities, right? You're gonna start to notice each category have certain symbols and words to cast the magic, right? It's like each category has a certain way or like vibration, not really vibration, but a certain type of language to perform the magic in, right? And then you can start just saying like it's under a template where like the Satanists, right? They use a pentagram, right? And then Shiva over there, Shiva, they use, I don't know what the fuck they use, smoke or something. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they use. But you can start seeing that everybody like is under a template, right? The way that I see it is like, say that you're like an occultist, because this is all occult magic, right? Say you're an occultist, right? And it's like, say you want to throw up your gang sign and like show what you represent. You're gonna throw up the pentagram. They gonna be like, oh, that nigga from Illuminati. They gonna throw up a Shiva hand. Oh, he from Hindu, whatever the fuck of course they have over there. They gonna be like, then this boy throw up some Chinese sign. You be like, oh, he from Buddha and shit. You know? I just see it as like gang signs and shit. Because there was somebody by the name of James Randi. He had a $1 million prize for whoever can perform a magic trick. Nobody went to him. Like I think he's still alive to this day, or he probably died. But the thing is, you have a couple magicians that been alive for the past 10 to 15 years, like Dynamo, David Blaine. Magicians like that. None of those magicians went to James Randi for the prize. Why? Because it was all fake. You don't know how I know it was all fake? Because there's somebody who went by the name of Penn and Teller. They have a show on CPW, right? And they be exposing magicians. And like you will look at a magician and you be like, how the fuck he did that? He just made the card disappear. But then Penn and Teller be like, we know how you did it, right? You be like, wait, what? They didn't win that because they fooled me, you know? But they be like, you didn't do it. So once they say you didn't did it, there was no energy involved in there. But then there was this one up and coming magician who they was trying to label as the devil was helping them, right? His name was Shin Lin, right? I felt like Penn and Teller knew what he did, but since he was going to get labeled as that, they just say that you fooled us. Because they were like, we don't know how you made the card disappear. Like, of course you know how somebody made the card disappear. Like, you see that shit every day, you know? It was like one of the usuals, and they just let him pass because it was Shen Lin. He was an up and coming next magician. So from right then and there, I'm like, yo, he's not even whatever. Like, and then none of them went to James Randi for that one. Like everybody went $1 million, and once you get that $1 million, you're gonna get the fame that come behind it. That people who was following James Randi, because James Randi was also a magician. That was like back in the day, and he was doing the same thing Penn and Teller was. He was just like kind of exposing, right? So what I'm trying to tell you, the magic that they currently show us is nothing more than physical magic. It's magic without the energy. It's magic to deceive. I think that's why they was like, don't do it or something. Don't do it in front of the crowd because you just deceive people. Pretty much, that's what they do. They just deceive you, and the whole time you're trying to sell your soul to the devil. You're trying to do this, you're trying to do that, but you wonder why you can't make that card disappear and reappear. Until you realize it's just sleight of hand. Then after I watched the whole James Randi thing, I'm like, oh shit, the magic that I thought that was real isn't. But something happened to me in my lifetime, which I called it magic, but I also thought the other magic was real. So I thought I was just in a different category of a magic user, right? So now this goes back to the twin soul thing, twin flame. If you gotta watch my last video to like understand what I'm trying to say. But bottom line, inside that, one of the energies of the twins, or one of the boy or girl, one of them used the wall. What is the wall? The wall is the body. As you clearly see, like you're built like a wall. Like you're strong, none can pass you, like it's like a wall. And then you also have the light. Each body has the same thing, but depending on what you are in the relationship, it determines which energy you're good at. So if you're good at using the wall, you're more of a physical energy. They're really good at using the wall. They know how to use it, right? And then you have the light, which is the third eye. Mages, well, the energy side of the energy. That sounded real crazy, but the energetic side. Well, a boy used that and a girl used the. It's a bit mixed up, but it's like, I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Like the wall is good at using the wall, and after that, the energy is good at using the energy. Because the difference between those two energies is you can't really use the wall without charging the body, which is a good night of sleep. That's how you use the wall. For you to use your energy body, you have to perform yoga. Not the yoga where you be bending up your bones. You got to do the yoga where you put your hands like this and you put on your leg and you sit in that position, right? The lotus position. And after that, over time, you're going to start feeling your body energized with energy. That's the only way you can do it. It's the only way you can circulate energy. When you hear somebody like, well, I meditate, you just can sleep. Obviously, they don't know what the fuck they talking about. Because you're charging up different parts of the body from when you do these practices. And a point that I'm trying to make before I get into this magic is that there's only two forms of magic. You have the wall and you have the light. And that's the only magic that exists. You just have a whole lot of physical magic of symbols and stuff like that. That's just like gang signs and shit. But just on a higher level, on a scarier level, where it's like you think it's magic, but it's not. Right? There's only two magic in this world. Now I'm trying to tell you what each magic does, but there's only two. Now look, cause something happened to me. I'm just gonna say I got jumped, right? And the people that jumped me started to tease me. Because they actually live like a block over from me, and I never knew that. They just live on the other side of the block. I'm like, what the hell? It's a bit strange. I got jumped all the way out the county. It didn't even make sense. So one day, this person drove down a block, right? No, I'm gonna skip that later. I'm gonna make that later, right? This happened before this man drove down the block. Like I was trying to go to my mom's shop to get something to eat, right? This man was just there every fucking day. I'm like, yo, this nigga's teasing me. So one day I went home mad. I'm like, yo, I know this nigga's fucking teasing me. And this was like in the middle of me charging up my body. Like my body was really charged up. So I was mad. Then all of a sudden it was that flight or flight thing, you know? My body went to fight mode. And this is the only way you can activate it nowadays. It's simply by being a fight or flight. Because when you do that, it's like you glitching yourself in a way. It's like it's a glitch. Like something can't be closed forever. There gotta be a way to open it. And that's the way. It's like fight or flight. Because when you do that, your body just goes in this weird mode. And all of a sudden you start, you're just in that fight or flight mode. Right? So my body went to fight. And then my third eye opened. How do I know? I actually felt it, like the eyelid go up. I'm like, what the hell? And then when the eyelid went up, right, I start feeling like, look at my hand, right? You see those little lines and stuff? Well, like right here, right, I felt like a ring, like a big ring, like covering up. Let me see. I could do it like it was covering up my hand, but it stopped at the line right there. And after that, I feel another energy right there. Then it stopped at the line. But I only felt it in two fingers. In actuality, I know you're supposed to feel it in all fingers. But what I assumed was, don't you know how you have fluoride that covers the third eye? Everybody knows this. Say that it's not just covering the third eye. Say it's covering all the tunnel ways where the energies flow through. So even if you use your energy is blocked. I believe that's when they got that's the real energy blockage come in, not the chakra blockage. I think that's fake because the body works like that. After I used it, I realized it had nothing to do with chakras or anything. That's just a way to confuse you. Like the energy works like that. But there is blockages. So I when I realized that, I'm like, yo, I can't even do anything. So what I did, I just closed it because I'm like, I can't do anything. And for some reason, when I was using it, I just really know how to use it. And that was like the energy side. That's like the third eye. That's what I'm good at. But this is the other thing that surprised me. After I closed it, right, I just said, fuck it. I'm like, it wasn't working anyway. Right? So like a week later, they still was teasing me. I'm like, yo, what the hell? And I was just chilling outside, minding my own business. They drove down the block. I'm like, what the fuck? After that, for some reason, sun just kicked into me. Like it just flipped. Next thing you know, it just started to rain. I'm like, I'm looking up. I'm like, yo, this don't make any sense. And before I tell you, I already told you my name. That was a familiar spirit, right? But my stuff was so concentrated. It was like a story where they was trying to say like, only the devil can make it rain straight down. Like the only the devil can do that. So I'm not just saying the devil, but I'm just trying to say because these stories come from familiar spirits where they keep the down and depressed because they know if we come up, we'll tell the truth and shit like that. So the shit is going straight down to the floor. How do I know? Because don't you know how it rains in front of you? You can see if it's slanted. It was no wind. It was just dropping straight to the floor. I'm like, what the fuck? It just is raining weird and heavy. Then all of a sudden, it started thunderstorming. Like you can hear the thunder in the back. And then while all that's occurring, right? Notice how you wear a shoe and you got that sole at the bottom of the shoe, like that spongy white thing or clear thing, right? When all that stuff was happening, I felt like water filling up, something like that, right? I'm like, what the hell? But it was no blockages. It was like it was just working. So I felt like water filling up at the bottom of my feet, but there wasn't any water. I'm like, what the hell? It felt more like energy. So I'm like, let me see if I know how to use it. So I'm starting to use it, and at that I'm charging it up. Literally, I'm charging it up, and I'm feeling it like totally fill up at the bottom of my feet. And when I was doing it, it was just all this rain. Like I had hair, I had dreads at the time. Like I cut it for a reason. I had dreads and it was like soaking my dreads. It was just all this rain, and it was all this thunder. And then it got to the point where it was like the clouds started forming over the houses. All right, it was just forming over the houses, and I can see like the electricity go through the clouds and shit. Like it was just a weird ass storm. So I'm like, all right, if this is me, right, I can make it stop raining. So tell me why my mindset to that. And now I'm changing my energy and shit like that. Then all of a sudden it just stopped raining. Then I'm like, all right, that could be a coincidence. It could have been a past by rain, right? So I'm like, let me test something else. And since it was thunderstorm, I'm gonna say, let me see if I can make it thunderstorm. So it started thunderstorming. Like I started charging it up without the rain. Like how my hands quenched like this. And I thought I was really trying. That shit was like I felt it going up. But I stopped it because it was getting to the point where to me it felt like it was about to explode. And behind me was like 15-year-olds, 17-year-olds. And I'm like, yo, I was still on a positive path. And I'm like, I don't want to hurt nobody. You know, I don't want nobody. I don't want that deaths on my mind. Like if somebody died or something now that's on my conscience. Cause it's gonna be like, why did I kill him? Cause I was being selfish or I was being playful with something I have no business playing with in this era. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's just bad to like for somebody's life to end like that. So then I stopped it, and then my family started to come up the block out of nowhere. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't tell them what I was doing because they wasn't into yoga the way I was. So I just walked in the house and I'm like, yeah, I just got caught in the rain. So pretty much I was controlling the weather. Like it sounds insane, but it's that flight or flight thing. And that's what activated. It's not like I activated on myself. I don't know how to use it. It activated because I wanted to defend myself. And that's what I was about to do. But it's not the time and generation for that, you know. And after that happened to me, when they said that before we had technologies and guns, we was below the food chain. I believe that was fake. I believe that when we fought each other, everything would change. It would start wind, rain, thunderstorm. Like it was like a cartoon back in the day. It's just that we didn't know how to talk. All we had was body language. We was more like animals. The law of the jungle. Now it's not like that anymore. Now we talk and shit like that. It's a bit strange and crazy. But what I think, I feel like that's the only two magic that will exist and will ever exist until they start making technology magic. Because nobody who say they use energy went to James Randi to claim that $1 million. The reason why, because I checked it. If anybody would have won, only one person won. But he didn't really do a magic trick. What he did was he made a computer that could predict what you was going to think. It's like a magic trick. It goes under the guidelines, and he won $1 million. But he was the only person that won $1 million. And Dynamo, David Blaine, all these people was alive. None of them went to go claim it. None of them. I'm like, right then and there, I'm like, yo, they ain't working with the devil. Because they would have went to go claim it just for the fun of it. Because you know how the devil is. He brag, nigga. And all his people brag, too. They would have go claim it and be like, yeah, for the devil, nigga, give me that money. Period. No one went to go claim that money. Why didn't I go claim the money? I didn't know how to use it. It was fight or flight. You know, that's that end, like when your mind like, I'm about to kill that nigga, dog. Pretty much. But that's the two magic right there. That's the only two. I feel like all the symbols and shit are just like gang signs of what you represent. Period. It's hard to explain, but one day this video ever make it and people look at it, they'll be like, yo, this nigga knew he was talking about, because that's the magic we use to this day. There's only two magics. It's the wall and there's the light. It's your body and then it's your third eye. And that was another reason why I didn't use it, because my third eye still was closed while I was using it. I didn't really feel this stuff on my hands. So I'm like, all I was able to do was charge it up. I couldn't really interact with it. So it was a huge chance that it could have killed me. Then people that came like, yo, the thunderstorm just blew up the block. And you know how easy it is to cover something like that up? Like a thunderstorm set the whole block on fire. But in actuality, somebody went to explore the paths, the left and right path. That's the real left and right path. The wall and the light. There's not no other shit where like destruction and peace. It's like the wall or the light. And what path are you good at? What path you gonna take? Shit like that. But that's it. That's all I got for this video. I hope you understand. It's pretty much hard because I'm terrible at explaining things, but I had to get this off my chest.